think every landowner that I've been speaking to is wondering what's coming next in terms of the policy landscape and in particular agricultural support. What we already know is that policymakers are going to be leaning on landowners and land managers much more heavily to integrate climate and biodiversity thinking into their operations. So we know there are going to be carbon audits as well as voluntary biodiversity measures that will help landowners to access conditional funding for land management. So I think with natural capital opportunities, there's clearly a financial benefit to engaging with them, whether that's through the generation and subsequent sale of carbon credits or through teaming up with a developer to deliver biodiversity net gain. The rewards can actually be quite significant if they're done in the right way and in the right place.
So I think biodiversity net gain is relevant to three main groups. First of all, conservation NGOs, and we do a lot of work for wildlife trusts and others in delivering the physical habitat creation and ongoing management. Then also for landowners who are providing land for that, and in some cases we're helping create large biodiversity net gain initiatives where they can be done at scale and very cost effectively. And then thirdly, the developers, where again we're acting for a number of developers looking to secure solutions to deliver both on-site and off-site biodiversity net gain.
Today we're at Lower Valley Farm. It's a 140 hectare site based in South Cambridgeshire. So this site used to be entirely arable crops, and you can see we've already started the conversion works to a nature recovery scheme. We've created a variety of biodiverse habitats including grasslands. You can see the hedgerows and the woodland in the background there as well. You can replicate this environmental initiative in other locations, and we're working with a lot of private landowners, county councils, estates and others to create these environmental initiatives in ecologically strategic locations and at landscape scale. So it's really cost effective and it's making sure that the environmental outcomes are maximised. This presents an opportunity for landowners to deliver meaningful environmental outcomes and derive attractive financial returns while also maximising the environmental and the social outcomes of these schemes. Our team includes rural investment specialists and qualified ecologists who really understand the ecological and development objectives. We add value through understanding the economics of land ownership and management, as well as understanding the practicalities and ecological objectives of scheme delivery.
Most of our work is actually where a development can't itself accommodate and deliver sufficient biodiversity to meet a 10% net gain requirement on the site. And so where we're involved is actually securing sites, acting both for developers and landowners, and in some cases conservation NGOs, on the delivery of off-site biodiversity net gain. And one of the key things to think about in that context is actually the economics of unit creation. So there are a whole number of factors that feed into that, including the cost and value of the interest in land that's being secured, but also the long-term cost of management.
So typically our landowners will have estates that are suited not just to natural capital projects but to other opportunities as well, and so we will often appraise a bit of ground to see whether there's potential for renewable energy, whether that's onshore wind or hydroelectricity, whether there's scope to produce sustainable timber with productive forestry, as well as opportunities like peatland restoration, woodland creation and regenerative agriculture. But for some landowners, if they already know what they want to do, we can help them to actually design and execute on a project, be that for carbon credits or for biodiversity net gain. So the landowner of this particular estate has a business model that relies on 4 different strands. They're trying to produce sustainable timber, they're trying to generate certified carbon credits, but they're also trying to engage with biodiversity markets to find a way to finance and realise a biodiversity uplift and increase the wildlife that we can see all around us. And that will link to the estate's existing tourism business and enhancing that tourism, specifically targeting it as more of an ecotourism brand, is what they're looking to do in the future. So we've got a variety of specific projects underway to help each of those. I think almost all landowners realise the way the wind is blowing with regards to natural capital. The climate crisis, the biodiversity crisis, these are issues that are not going away, and we need to adapt and integrate our response to them in the way that we manage land.